But yeah, I was very impressed with the offensive line, and I think that's a good game to build off of for them. And again, I think that had a lot to do with just finding an offensive rhythm and finding something that worked with what we got on the field. You know, the short intermediate pass game's quick. The run game that sets up the run game opens that up a little bit. So it's a nice system in place, and I think it's bringing the best out of these offensive linemen.
And it was nice to see Teddy Prohaska get back in there a little bit, even though he didn't play a ton of snaps, but at least he's getting closer to being able to go full.
That's great.
100%. So.
There's someone in the chat who was asking how the offensive line graded out.
I was looking at that.
Pro Football Focus.
I was trying to log into my PFF, and it wasn't letting me right now.
I've got. Oh, really?
Yeah.
So that's what I was attempting to do right now. Not that I remember my password, but I'm going with my old standby here.
That just shut them down. Too much traffic going there. Too much traffic going there now from our chat here.
Oh, yeah. They apparently, I don't know if I forgot my my login information either.
I apparently did.
Oh,
because I can't get in myself.
But
Husker Online usually post that on Sundays.
Yeah, it is up there. I just was trying to log into that as well. Having issues. Seems to be a trend here. But yeah, they I did see some of the individual grades. I just can't remember. On Twitter I saw some of them. But I'm struggling here with pulling this up, so
there you go.
Your Martinez.
Defense or offense? Defense.
Offense.
Line.
While Greg's looking that up, Kyle, I did not put Adrian Martinez on the quarterback poll. However, had I put him on there, I would have spelled his first name correctly.
Adrian.
Pretty good across the board here. Bryce Benhart, 73.1. Ethan Piper, 71.4. Turner Corcoran, 67.4. Ben Scott, 44.3. I pointed him out.
Compared to week one, I mean, I think they were all below 60 or below in week
Jerry
one.
Newelly was a 62.9. Lutovsky, 66.1. 66.2 for Teddy.
Yeah, that's solid. I mean,
so yeah.
Comparatively for week one, like I said, there was a few in the 40s, some in the 50s, a couple in the 60s. So that's much better.
That's horrible.
Yeah, I do think probably that has a lot to do. And I think, like I said, since they found this scheme going forward, they might be able to just play to what the offensive line can do and just try to, play to their strengths. And I don't think right now their strength is holding blocks, so which works well with what we got doing last time. And I think that might have been a part of why they did it. I think it was just they were trying to still find something that was, we don't have a deep pass game, so they had to kind of nix that. And then we went from, I think, just kind of like we were trying to do intermediate to long pass game. And then as soon as we mix this in, especially getting Billy Kemp involved, like keeping Billy Kemp involved is key, because I think he opens everything else up. And then you can pepper Marcus Washington, and Fedoni and stuff like that. So I just think they played the offensive line strength. So I don't think this is something that's going to be an aberration or anything.
All right. Looking in the chat here, what do we have? A lot about Jeff Sims, turnovers, and starting Heinrich Harburg.
Hey, he didn't have a turnover, not even a one on Saturday. So.
He was clean.
Do we have the Louisiana Tech guy?
He is not here yet.
He's on Southern time, Justin.
I will double check on.
It's Mardi Gras, isn't it? No, not yet.
Not yet.
Well, he's not necessarily there in Louisiana, but
true. Yeah.
Kyle says defense will get tested in 2 weeks. Minnesota is meh on offense. Colorado really had two players, and they both killed us. NIU was one of the worst MAC teams last year. Louisiana Tech will be worse than NIU.
Yeah, they were a pretty good football team in my eyes.
I think styles make fights, and I think just comparing, especially with a team that's growing week by week, just trying to sit here and compare, like, you know, we understand there's a process, but we have to, you know, give credit where it's due in these games going into it. We can't just sit here and say that, you know, we can't compliment what we've been doing because it's not Michigan, you know, and we will be tested in Michigan, yes, but those are the tests that we need before we can start winning those types of games. But yeah, obviously Michigan's going to be a tough game, but we can still take the lessons from these. And then also, you know, again, comparatively, Minnesota to Colorado, there were so many factors to those games that you just can't compare those to the
two environments to start the season off are really difficult to ask a team to do.
And just with the turnover,
you know, it's made them. It's really gotten them ready, I think, for the rest of the season.
Exactly. We needed those games.
You can see the way they played at home, I mean, I don't care watching that game on TV. You don't understand how physical Northern Illinois was unless you were down there on the field. You know, that was a hard-hitting game and just a very competitive game, you know, physically. So, you know, I think, you know, in Northern Illinois, I mean, they went to Boston College and won, so they're not a pushover. And this Louisiana Tech team is not a pushover either. So they're very talented as well. They're 2-2 already. You know, they played 4 games already. But
yeah, Northern Illinois was, you know, and you know, Rocky Lombardi at one point was at Michigan State. You know, he didn't play much better in this game than he did there. But you know, it's just that team was solid defensively in the first 2 weeks. You know, we looted that coming in. They dropped one. Their offense wasn't all that, you know, great, but they were a very physical team. And I don't think, like, you know, even in my mind, we still were hesitant to want to say that they were going to win by multiple scores just because we hadn't seen it in a while. So you know, I think that's still an impressive win. I think it's one of those things that Nebraska fans are hesitant saying we're going to be able to win going into that. But then when we do win convincingly, they're like, well, yeah, it was just Northern Illinois though. So I think we're kind of two separate mindsets here. We have to just take care of the games that we play on Saturdays, and then we can focus on going forward.